You always knew the bad news was coming with Todd because he'd go, here's the thing. And he said, we're going to lose the orchestra in Dresden, and we have to do all of the conducting first. I do think there's a distinct lack of shame in society at the moment. I think shame is very different to guilt.
Just when people thought Justin Baldoni was finally the bad guy, Blake Lively proved she will always be the bad guy.
So word on the street is that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have a not-so-secret little hobby, throwing shade and bullying folks all over Hollywood. And let me tell you, this saga didn't start with the Justin Baldoni drama, nor is it anywhere close to ending there. Guess who just spilled all the sizzling tea? None other than the utterly classy, unshakable queen herself, Cate Blanchett.
Who's the biggest diva on set?
Biggest diva on set of Gossip Girl.
You can say it because it's so far away from where you are now. That show's over. I suggest that you do not pass on another question.
Thank you, Chelsea. I wish I could take all of my passes back and use them all right now. Yeah. Let me just say, that was a tough show to film, and I didn't end up actually filming all of the episodes I was supposed to because it was such a tough film.
Really? Literally, you said, get me out of this.
It was also like, get him out of here. Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
So it just literally was that. Whose love interest were you?
I was Blake Lively's love
You
interest.
were?
Yeah.
Okay, well
Sounds
then.
like she was the problem.
It sure does, Chelsea.
When someone is poised, cool, and utterly unbothered as Cate steps up with her own horror story about Blake and Ryan, you just know we're diving way deeper than the headlines let on. Turns out, Blake wasn't just trying to ride the coattails of Cate's legacy. Allegedly, she straight up snatched it, spat on it, and then acted like it was all a big joke. The audacity is off the charts. But here's the kicker. Cate, being the queen of composure, didn't throw a tantrum or start a diva meltdown. Nope. Instead, she kept her cool, stayed calm, and quietly started plotting one of the most subtle yet savage revenges Hollywood has ever seen. The tea is so hot that it looks like Cate might finally be the one to shut down Blake and Ryan's bad behavior for good. So buckle up, because this mess is about to unravel. Let's start on set, the battleground of diva drama. When asked who was the biggest diva on set, Cate was evasive but honest. She called it a tough shoot, admitting she didn't even finish all her episodes because it was so rough. And who was her love interest? Blake Lively. Seems the tension wasn't just on screen. If you know anything about Cate and Chanel, you know they're a fashion match made in heaven. Cate has been the iconic face of Chanel for over a decade. Pure elegance, old-school cinematic royalty personified. She's sat front and center at couture shows, had private fittings, and in 2021, she even signed a juicy multi-season deal to headline Chanel's Women in Cinema campaign. Get this, Cate's husband, Andrew Upton, wrote an artistic black and white short film. No dialogue, just raw emotion, which was locked and loaded for the campaign reveal. Everything was set to be a masterpiece. Then bam! On the big day, Blake Lively shows up like an unexpected plot twist. Fans were confused, asking, why is Blake here? Where's Cate? What happened? Turns out there was no feud with Chanel. Blake's arrival was a cold, calculated move. Someone on the inside whispered to Cate's team that the campaign direction had changed, which is industry speak for, you're out. No drama, no warning, just cut off hard. Suddenly, Blake is the shiny new face of the campaign, but they didn't bother changing Cate's original concept. They just sprinkled some glitter, slapped on cheesy motivational quotes, reddened the lips, and called it a day. The disrespect was astronomical. Even the backstage crew was shook. One stylist leaked private texts saying, it was never supposed to be Blake. Cate's team even offered Chanel a killer cross-platform deal that should have been impossible to refuse, but Chanel went ahead and pulled the rug out from under her anyway. Bold move, maybe too bold. And here's where it gets worse. Blake's team launched a full-blown campaign to make Cate look yesterday's news, swooping in like they were the saviors of Chanel. Flash forward to March 2023. Chanel throws an exclusive dinner in Paris filled with icons, directors, and Hollywood's elite. Cate RSVP'd months ago, ready to premiere Andrew's artsy short film. But 2 weeks before the event, Blake is announced as the brand honoree, and Cate's film vanishes quietly, swapped out for Blake's glossy new theme, a cross-platform storytelling extravaganza involving beauty, film, and wellness. You'd expect Cate to cancel, right? Nope. Cate's the consummate professional. She shows up with her head held high, but Blake couldn't resist. Insiders say she was overheard trash-talking Cate's husband's script, calling it beautiful but outdated. And a Chanel exec at the table reportedly laughed, "Legacy doesn't sell to Gen Z." Cate overheard every word and kept her dignity, but insiders say her heart broke that night. Can you imagine? Then come April 2023, Blake drops her massive Chanel X Netflix campaign. And suddenly, Chanel's PR goofed big time. An old feature article from the time when Cate was the campaign face accidentally went live for 3 hours, naming Cate and praising her creative input, even referencing Andrew's short film. Social media went ballistic. Screenshots flew everywhere, and suddenly Blake was accused of stealing Cate's legacy and silencing her. The backlash was nuclear, but Cate kept her cool. She never addressed the drama directly. Instead, she fired a subtle yet savage shot during an award speech in Berlin, saying, "There's a difference between honoring a story and owning it like it was always yours. One builds legacy, the other builds ego." Can you hear that? That's a not-so-subtle jab straight at Blake. Meanwhile, Blake's team panicked, canceling a big YouTube fashion talk show appearance at the last minute, officially due to scheduling conflicts. But insiders say the host was ready to grill Blake live about the drama. That could have been a disaster. By then, Blake's carefully polished America's sweetheart image was unraveling one scandal at a time. Cate, on the other hand, didn't stoop low or throw shade back. She moved on, booked up, staying busy and unbothered. The true queen she is. But while Cate handled the Chanel betrayal with unparalleled grace, more receipts surfaced exposing Blake's dark side. Like that resurfaced Gossip Girl clip where Blake joked about Leighton Meester being born in prison and compared co-stars to monkeys in a cage. Awkward doesn't even begin to cover it. Leighton and others looked visibly done, and fans quickly called it out as textbook mean girl behavior. Don't forget Gossip Girl's executive producer, Joshua Safran, who admitted years ago that Blake and Leighton couldn't stand each other, chalking it up to different personalities, until now. And then there's Armie Hammer. When he worked with Blake, he called her a nightmare, saying she threw tantrums and insisted everything had to be her way. His subtle but clear diplomatic shade still said it all. It's giving Hollywood bully in a sweetheart costume, and people are waking up to the real Blake. Blake allegedly has a habit of turning the whole cast and crew against anyone she clashed with. Remember Penn Badgley's rough start on Gossip Girl? Word is Blake told everyone Penn was difficult and bad energy, isolating him until people saw he was misunderstood. Then, just when you think the drama couldn't get messier, here comes the Justin Baldoni and It Ends With Us saga. Next level shady. Justin came forward saying Blake tried to push him out of the director's chair and the rumors aren't pretty. Blake allegedly rewrote scripts behind his back without permission. And when he said no, she threatened to unleash her dragons on him, aka her BFF Taylor Swift and hubby Ryan Reynolds. Audacity at its peak. And before the lawsuits even started, Blake was reportedly sliding into Colleen Hoover's DMs, angling to direct the next movie herself. Meanwhile, Justin's contract gave him full rights unless something morally damaging came up. When you connect the dots, Blake's behind-the-scenes moves look seriously suspicious. Meanwhile, Cate stayed standing tall. She said, "Not today, sweetheart," refusing to be pushed aside like everyone else. So now, here's the million-dollar question. Did Cate play it smart by staying classy and letting Blake's empire crumble on its own? Or should she have gone full throttle against her? And is this the beginning of the end for Blake Lively's Hollywood reign? What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to check out our other videos for even juicier tea. Till next time, stay fabulous and stay tuned.